Hello YouTube. Today we're going to talk about yet another contentious topic. Probably something that's going to start some discussion, some drama, but I think that dialogue is always healthy, even if it's a bit aggressive and tense. Because we're going to talk about a quote today. We're going to talk about a diet, a method of gaining weight that a lot of people are very emotionally attached to. I'm going to explain why. And the method we're talking about today is GOMAD. What is GOMAD? GOMAD is gallon of milk a day. We're talking about whole milk, all right? What is the purpose of GOMAD? To gain weight, all right? That's the main purpose of GOMAD. It's going to make you big, it's going to make you strong, or at least that's what you're told. What do I think about GOMAD? I think it's stupid. I'm going to explain why I think it's stupid. If you watched other videos on this channel, you know that I'm usually soft-spoken. But when it comes to things that are dangerous for people who are just getting started in lifting, or for people who might stumble upon my channel, I want them to see those videos, which is why I'm going to be a bit more straightforward when it comes to them. So, I'm not going to name the names of people who are advocating for GOMAD. They know who they are. I don't think they are doing anyone a service. The reason why I say that is, let me start first by saying that there's nothing wrong with milk. Okay, I know, milk has very bad press with a lot of communities. Milk in itself, because of its origin, you have a lot of people who will tell you, oh, we're suckling from another species, it's not natural, it's abnormal. Disregard that argument. Anytime someone has a nature fallacy like this, disregard it. It's not important, it's not interesting. What is interesting is what type of animal drinks the milk? The calf. What does it do to the calf? The calf gains a lot of weight and size very quickly. So that would rather be an argument for the people who tell you to drink tons of milk to get big. Let me also state that this video is highly hypocritical. Why? Because I did GOMAD. But I did it without knowing what it was, meaning that when I started doing it, I don't think it was popular. I don't even think anyone had already made a video about it. I did it because milk was cheap where I lived, and it was my only source of protein. There was no whey protein where I lived, so I had to complement my alimentation because I didn't pick what I got to eat at the time, and I didn't pick the quantities, and to gain weight I had to do something, so I drank tons of milk. I never went so far as to drink a gallon of milk a day, but I easily drank 1 to 1.5 liters of milk every day. And even before I started lifting, I always drank tons of milk because in my country, it's something you give to kids to make them big and strong. It's on TV, it's in the newspaper, every parent does it. Now, I want to personally apologize to milk because I love milk. It's my favorite drink. I think it tastes delicious. I gave up on it recently. I will make videos about it, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to talk about GOMAD. But milk, especially milk, and dairy in general, is not good for you, for the vast majority of the population. I'm not talking about dairy intolerance, I'm not talking about lactose intolerance. These people, of course, shouldn't consume dairy. If they do, it's their own problem, but their body is showing them clearly that they don't have what it takes to digest lactose. I'm not one of these. I can digest lactose like this. I never had any issues with milk. Milk never gave me bad skin. It never gave me a cough. I know some people get a cough with mucus. I never had issues digesting it because my ancestors have been drinking milk for thousands of years. So that wasn't my problem with milk. I personally had to quit milk because on one side I had ancestors who were doing very well with milk. On the other side, not so much. And because I'm not going to take any chance, I gave up on milk completely. But it's not the reason why I make this video. If you consume milk, you should of course dig in your ancestry to make sure you don't have potential genetic issues that are going to arise if you drink a gallon of this substance a day, but it's not what I'm concerned with here. I want to talk about someone who has the ability to drink milk, is not lactose intolerant, doesn't have any ancestors that could potentially have been responsible for them getting a disease down the line because they themselves were genetically disposed to getting that disease caused by dairy. I'm talking about a guy who is completely immune to anything dairy can do to them. All right? That's the guy I'm talking about. Even they shouldn't drink that much milk. I'm not saying don't drink milk. I'm saying that putting all of your eggs in one basket and relying solely on GOMAD for your nutrients is lazy and it's stupid. And I know a lot of people, I heard people who only do GOMAD. That's, of course, it's not what is usually prescribed. So disregard them too. I'm talking about dudes who eat their meals and they complement that with milk. Why is that a bad thing? It's a bad thing because one, if you drink the full gallon of milk, most likely you're going to way overshoot your calories. So you're going to be entering a bulk, which I speak against in my videos because you're going to put on mostly fat. There is no reason why anyone would enter such a high calorie surplus, especially since most lifters only care about their physique. They don't care about strength. They're not going to compete at a super heavyweight level. So why are you putting on that much mass that quickly? Take your time. GOMAD doesn't really leave you that much wiggle room because it's GOMAD. You have to drink the gallon a day. So it's a poor way to manage your calories. That's one. Two, the type of macros you're going to get from that milk, and we're going to assume that you get pristine, organic, quality milk, okay? So the cream of the crop of the milk, which most people won't have access to, especially if you live in big cities. You're going to get so much fat from that even if you highly cut out the fat outside in your diet, you're still going to overconsume. And an imbalance in the macros you consume is never a good thing. So you're going to get also way too many nutrients that you don't really need. Like the amount of calcium you're going to need in a day is going to be way lower than what you're going to get drinking 1 gallon of milk a day. You're abusing something, and whether you have studies that show where it's good or not, I'm saying to you that doing that with your diet or your training or anything in life where you go overboard is usually never good. Now there's also the growth factor in milk. And I don't have any proof. I don't have any studies. Maybe they exist. I'm not concerned with that. I'm just saying you're growing because you're drinking that milk. Okay? Your muscle mass is growing because of the proteins you consume with the milk and the calories it provides. All right? You could have gotten that from somewhere else. All right? There is nothing special about the type of proteins that are in milk. It's whey protein. You can get it in isolation form if you want to, and you're not going to have to deal with all the fat you're consuming as you drink the milk. To me, it's a kamikaze diet. And the issue too is that it's always prescribed to skinny young men who are desperate to gain weight. So you tell them, oh, drink a gallon of milk a day. And they're going to do it because most of the time people who push these methods are either strong or they're big, and so they are something that those young men aspire to be. And they're going to do it, they're going to follow your advice. And the worst part is that it's not going to really damage their health as they do it, if they're not lactose intolerant. But it's also going to, regardless of whether it hurts their health in the long run, it's going to set them up for a mentality of all or nothing, which is terrible for lifting. That's how you end up with young men who are snapped up in their 20s completely because they never learned how to be measured. Telling young kids, oh, just focus your diet on drinking a gallon of this substance a day and you'll be fine. They should be learning about diet at this point. And I don't buy into the, oh, I'm a hard gainer mentality where if someone is not basically drinking milk in between each breath that they take, they're going to lose weight or stagnate. That's not true. You can get all of what you're getting in the milk in a different form that's going to be healthier for you. Now, I hear the argument, and I understand it, that it's both convenient and cheap. Yes, milk is cheap with the type of macros and calories you get in it. It's very cheap. So for broke students, for broke young guys, it's good. It's convenient. Why? Because you drink it. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to warm it up. You can just drink it. I understand the cheap argument. I didn't come from money. I get it. When you need to do something, you do it. That being said, that's the one time where I'm sort of okay with that, as long as it's not done during a long period of time. But for the convenience aspect, that's where else in life do you do that? Where else in life do you have two options and one is clearly healthier for you, but you pick the other one because it's more convenient? You have a broken car that you know can break down in the middle of the highway, but going to the garage is not convenient, so you're going to drive in the middle of the highway and risk an accident? No, you're going to take care of it. The reason why people don't care about the health consequences of GOMAD is because they're not immediate. And again, hypocrisy to the roof, because I'm the guy who drank milk for years and years, who had a terrible diet, and who always did this. Because my health was good, my blood tests were good, and I was basically telling myself, well, if it doesn't hurt me now, why would it hurt me later? Well, because a lot of chronic disease or genetically predisposed disease are dormant. And when they wake up for real. But before they wake up, you're going to be all good. But your goal should be to prevent that from happening as long as possible, which you can do with a healthy diet and not falling for fad diets like GOMAD. And if you're like me, it's gonna take a kick in the butt to realize it. I don't think this video is gonna be it. Maybe this video is going to make you think about it a bit. For me, it was seeing someone I know die that made me realize, oh, I'm next in line. I don't know what it's going to take for you, but I hope you come to the realization one day. So, GOMAD, ditch it. It's a meme, it's a fad. There are better ways to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, which is getting big. I guarantee you, if you don't think so, if you're the person who does GOMAD, let me know your context in the comments, and I guarantee you we can work around something. We can find a way for you to gain weight, bulk up, and put on more muscle that you would have put on with GOMAD. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't censor yourself because I won't censor you. So let me know what is really on your mind, and let's talk about GOMAD. All right? Thank you. Have a good day.